Utility theory is the tool economists use to describe the way households allocate their limited budget across the array of goods and services that provide satisfaction. Why is it that most consumption bundles are balanced? They contain some apples, some oranges, some milk, some eggs. Why don't consumers spend all of their income on one particular good or service that's especially satisfying and buy very little of anything else? Utility theory can help explain the balance in people's consumption bundles. Utility theory has at its root a unit of measure called the util, and a util is an increment of satisfaction. For instance, if I have a potato chip, and I do like them, I might measure my satisfaction by creating this fictional measure of happiness called the util, and the first potato chip that I eat adds 10 utils to my satisfaction. Think of this as a kind of psychic payoff from the pleasure of eating a chip. The marginal utility of consuming a potato chip is the additional utility, the extra number of utils that are added to my total satisfaction when I consume that first potato chip. So its marginal utility, or psychic satisfaction, is equal to 10. That means if I eat one potato chip, my total utility is 10 utils. So good. Now, suppose I decide to have a second potato chip. I'm sorry, so good, but not quite as good as the first one. I mean, after all, marginal utility does diminish. The second potato chip is never quite as good as the first one, even though it's still quite delightful. The total utility that I get from eating 2 potato chips is 10 for the first plus 8 for the second, for a total utility of 18. Of course, no one can eat just 2, right? The third chip adds only 6 utils to my total satisfaction, bringing the complete level up to 24. I mean, it's better than nothing, but not quite as good as the first 3. My total utility, however, is still increasing for a while. I mean, it was there, right? So I ate it, but I can't say it was especially enjoyable. Okay. Can I have a glass of water? I mean, is the point clear? More is better, up to a point. But each additional unit provides a little less satisfaction than the unit before after some point. Consumption is subject to diminishing marginal utility. Each additional unit that you consume in a set period of time, other things held constant, is going to provide less satisfaction than the unit before. This means that while more of everything may be better, eating more potato chips at any given point of time, after some point, becomes a bit of a chore. Marginal utility can fall to 0 and even become negative. So now we'll show how to apply this tool as we calculate the way consumers choose to spread their income out over its competing uses. But first, I'm going to take a break.